12th September 2023, Morning Murli, Om Shanti, BapDada, Madhuban. Sweet children, you have to become 100% full of all virtues. Look in the mirror of your heart and see to what extent you have become pure. Question: which festival do children celebrate every day, and which festival do people of the world celebrate every day? Answer: every day you celebrate the festival of establishing the data religion, that is, of making Bharat into heaven. Every day you have to plant the sampling of changing human beings into deities. Those people plant samplings of thrones in a forest and call it a tree planting ceremony. You celebrate the festival of changing thrones into flowers every day. No one else can celebrate a festival in the same way as you. Song: see your face in the mirror of your heart. Om Shanti. Who said this? Here it is a personal meeting of the Father and children. Each of your children has now received a divine eye, a third eye of knowledge, with which you can see, because all souls are impure and sinful. The Father kept Srimad to make impure ones pure. You have to understand who it is who is giving you Srimad. He is the one who speaks to you souls. Souls know whether they have performed good or bad actions through their bodies. Baba is now giving you children this understanding. It is definite that all of you were impure. You can now see to what extent you have become pure and how many divine virtues you have imbibed. The one who inspires you to imbibe divine virtues is the Father, the ocean of all virtues. He sits here and explains to you. People sing, we are without virtue. We have no virtues. They say of themselves that they don't have any virtues. Your children now have to become 100% full of all virtues. He says, look in the mirror of your heart. Only when you become full of virtues will you be able to marry Sri Lakshmi or Sri Narayan. First of all, you have to give the Father's introduction. He is the unlimited Father, and it is to him that you sing. You are the Mother and Father. There is a great praise of the Supreme Father. People say salutations to Shiv. He is the creator of heaven. He definitely has the right to claim the inheritance from the Father. The inheritance from the unlimited Father is the sovereignty of heaven, which He gives to us. Bharat did have the sovereignty of heaven, but doesn't have it now. It definitely did receive it from the Father. Bharat becomes the land of truth. Everyone knows that this is the birthplace of shivbaba, the truth. Shivratri is remembered. What night is it? They show the night of Sri Krishna and also the night of Shiv. Sri Krishna took birth from his mother's womb. You wouldn't say that there is Janmashtami for shivbaba. Shivbaba comes when it is the night of Brahma. After the night, the day comes. That is, it is the end of the Iron Age and the beginning of the Golden Age. This is called an extremely dark night. It is an unlimited aspect. There are limited nights, but the end of the Iron Age is called extreme darkness. It is when the Sadguru gives the ointment of knowledge. The Sadguru, the Father, is called the Son of Knowledge. First of all, you have to give the introduction of the Father and the inheritance. For instance, when an emperor doesn't have a son, he would adopt the son of a poor person, and the child would know in his heart that he used to be poor and that he has now become the son of an emperor. You too know that you became very poor and poverty stricken by belonging to Ravan. You now belong to the unlimited Father. You are receiving the inheritance of heaven from Him. You have to give this introduction very clearly and also get them to put it in writing. We are receiving the unlimited inheritance from our unlimited Father. No one else can give this knowledge. Sannyasis go away and leave their homes and families. They have become free from being called father or uncle, etc. Here it is a matter of the household path. They renounce the household path. The Father explains to you children, you were deities on the household path. You were full of all virtues and were viceless, and you were also the masters of the world. Then, from being worthy of worship, you became worshippers and also worshipped yourselves. When you are worthy of worship deities, you don't need to worship there. In the same way, in Bharat, there was a worthy of worship clan of deities. From being worthy of worship, you became worshippers. Now once again, you children have to become worthy of worship deities from worshippers. That is why it is remembered. You are worthy of worship and you are worshippers. The Father doesn't become worthy of worship or a worshipper. The Father is always worthy of worship. On the path of devotion, Brahmin priest place a shivlingam in a temple and they sit and worship the Father. We are His children. We would say, O Supreme Father, Supreme Soul. He is incorporeal and souls are also incorporeal. When people go to Shiv, they say, O Supreme Father, Supreme Soul, incorporeal Shiv. The soul says thus through these organs. You children now know that those who passes away after performing good actions are praised. You only say Mother and Father to that incorporeal one. With your easy Raj Yoga and the teachings of this knowledge, we will have an abundance of happiness. You are making effort for that. This is so easy. You are BKs, children of Prajapita Brahma. In a practical way, you are sitting personally in front of him. You are personally in front of both shivbaba and Brahma Baba. Shivbaba doesn't have a body of his own. You know that Shivbaba is teaching you Raj Yoga with the mouth of this one. Shri Krishna is a small child. How could he say, forget your bodies and body relationships and consider yourselves to be soul? Shri Krishna cannot say this. Only the Father can say this. So this is a big mistake that they have made. Everyone from Lakshmi and Narayan to all the subjects received happiness. They were the ones who took 84 births and became Tamapradhan. The main ones are Lakshmi and Narayan, as are the king and queen, so the subjects. You have now become Brahmins from Shudras. This is your leap birth. This leap birth is said to be a righteous birth. You know that this is your godly birth. Day by day, Baba continues to explain new points to you. You have to study for as long as you live, till the end. Points will continue to emerge and will continue to be added. The sacrificial fire of knowledge has to continue to the end. When people create a sacrificial fire of Rudra, they create saligrams of clay and worship them. The souls are worshipped. You embodied souls have made Bharat into the crown on the head. Therefore, you souls are worshipped. You do service with the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, and so, together with a Shivlingam, they also create saligrams. So, first of all, the main thing is to give the Father's introduction. Shivbaba took birth, but he doesn't take birth from the womb of a mother. He is incorporeal. For instance, when someone sheds his body, they invoke that soul to eat special food made for the departed spirit. Therefore, they feed that soul. It is the soul that tests the food. It is the soul that feels happiness and sorrow, and whether something is bitter or sweet. Sanskars are in each soul. A soul experiences happiness or sorrow when he is in a body. Baba has explained to you how punishment is received. It isn't a subtle body. You are made to adopt a physical body and are then punished. Punishment is experienced in a jail of a worm. That soul cries out in distress. That's enough. Let me out. There is the example of the palace of a worm. The soul didn't want to come out. That is just an example. In the golden age, each worm becomes a palace. There is no sin there. You now know how you became impure. The Varising is as sinful as a Jamal. He committed a lot of sin. Pure means viceless. The main thing is vice. Therefore, sannyasis leave their homes and families in order to become pure, and this is why they are called great souls. All human beings are impure, and this is why they continue to sing Ram, who belongs to Sita, is the purifier. King Ram is the one who belongs to the Raghav, means elevated clan. Shivbaba would not be called King Ram. The Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, is called Ram, not King Ram. I do not become a king or an emperor. You became Sri Lakshmi, the Empress, and Sri Narayan, the Emperor. I don't become that. I am incorporeal, beyond rebirth. All bodily beings continue to take rebirth. The Father says, I am incorporeal. I too have to take the support of matter. I do not enter a worm. I enter this one. This one doesn't know about his own birth. The Father sits here and explains, you were deities and you then became Shudras and have now become Brahmins. I explain this to you. You do not know your own births. Only those who became Brahmins will come and understand. The Father says, you have completed 84 births in this way. It is said, the inheritance of 21 generations. The unlimited Father would give you an inheritance of unlimited happiness. You receive temporary happiness from physical fathers. In the land of immortality, you have happiness from the beginning, through the middle, to the end. Here, there is sorrow from the beginning, through the middle, to the end. Shivbaba, the Lord of Immortality, is telling you Parvati's the story of immortality. He is also the one who tells you the story of the true Narayan. This is the story of giving you a third eye of knowledge. The people of Bharat were constantly happy. They were very pure. They had purity, health, and wealth. No one was ever ill. The very name was heaven. Ancient Bharat was heaven, and there were no other religions or lands there. The tree would definitely have a trunk. Who used to be the trunk? There are, in fact, images of the deities. That was the foundation, but they didn't call themselves those who belonged to the deity religion. The kingdom is now being established. You can become a couple like Radhe and Krishna of the golden age. Come and we will explain to you how you can truly become prince in heaven. At this time, all are impure. You can write this tactfully. They say that all religions should unite and become one. But how would that be possible? Only in the golden age was there just the one religion. There was one direction and one language. There wasn't any conflict there. They were the masters of the world. There was no other religion. No one uses his intellect to find out how they became that or how the other religions came into existence. After the pure souls of other religions have come down from up above and have become completely impure, it is then that the purified Father comes. First of all, the founders of religions come, and then they ask others to come. They have to go through the stages of Sato, Raju and Tamo. Everyone who comes has to become Tamo by passing through the Sato and Raju stages. However, you are now becoming pure from impure. Everyone calls out God the Father, come, come and take us to heaven. Some consider liberation to be heaven, and others consider liberation and life to be heaven. You understand that heaven is liberation and life. Your sampling is being planted. Those people are now planting samplings of thrones in a forest. There is the difference of day and night. They have ceremonies of that too. They have tree planting ceremonies. Every day you perform the ceremony of establishing the deity religion, that is, of making Bharat into heaven. You make effort every day to change human beings into deities. It is your everyday ceremony or festival to change thrones into flowers. The master of the garden will then definitely give you such a reward too. Your children heard and the song, O soul, look in the mirror of your heart. Have you become worthy of becoming a deity of heaven? That is, of marrying Lakshmi or Narayan. You don't have any defects, do you? Many storms will come. Maya doesn't leave anyone alone. She even extinguishes the big lamps. Wrong types of thought will attack you a great deal. You have to remain strong. There is no question of wilting, and thus you mustn't break your intellect's yoga away from the Father. That Father is everyone's boatman. This is a big channel of poison. You cross it with the power of yoga. You go across the ocean of poison and go to the ocean of milk. The kingdom of Vishnu is in an ocean of milk. That is, rivers of ghee flow there. Here rivers of kerosene and blood flow. Your children know that by following Shivbaba's Srimad, you are going to Shivalaya, where you will remain constantly happy. You used to be constantly happy, and then Maya made you unhappy. The household path has been made unrighteous. There, the household path is righteous. The Father is now making you into beings who belongs to the elevated divine household path. First of all, the main thing is to give the Father's introduction. By belonging to the Father, you can become the masters of heaven. Thus is a land of sorrow. You go to heaven via the land of liberation, and thus is why you have to remember the land of Shiv, and the land of Vishnu. By remembering them, your final thoughts will lead you to your destination. Remember that your 84 births are now coming to an end. Then tomorrow we will go there and rule. Content to look at your faces and the mirrors of your hearts. Do I have any defects in me? Acha. To the sweetest, beloved, long lost, and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning from the Mother, the Father, BapDada. The spiritual father says Namaste to the spiritual children. The spiritual children says Namaste and good morning to the spiritual father. Essence for the dharana. First point, go across the big channel of poison with the power of yoga. Don't wilt by having wrong thoughts. Remain strong. Second point, in order to become worthy of worship, serve with the Father to make Bharat into the crown. Blessing, may you be tireless and remain double light while fulfilling your responsibilities as a trustee. Explanation, those who fulfill the responsibility of service while fulfilling their worldly responsibilities receive double benefit. When you have double the responsibility, you have double the attainment. However, while having double the responsibility, in order to remain double light, look after your responsibilities while considering yourselves to be a trustee, and you will not feel tired. Those who consider their households and their families to be theirs experience those to be a burden. They are not yours, and so, whereas they are a burden. Slogan: stay constantly in front of the sun of knowledge, and the shadow of your fortune will remain with you. Om Shanti.